So,
Yes.
John, what have you been called too much of? Can you list it for me, please?
Okay, well, I've been called to femme, to black, to what's the other one? Untidy, to demanding, to loud. Like a lot of twos, really. A lot of too muches. Yeah.
And can you tell us about some of the times you've been called too much and how you felt, who it was, how it affected you? Yeah.
One time, like, I was working this job and, like, my manager always seemed to, like, pick out, like, the smallest faults in me and, like, display them to everyone, like, always diminish me, like, be like, oh, you're doing this wrong, oh, you're not doing this, oh, you're wearing this, oh, your hair's so long, oh, you look so unprofessional, oh, why have you dyed your hair, oh, you need to, like, be less gay, oh, you need to be, like, less femme, oh, this, that. And then they were always like, oh, the higher ups aren't gonna like this, oh, the higher ups aren't gonna like this. Like, basically being, like, too much when, like, there were literally, like, people, like, arriving late constantly and, like, pretty much, like, everyone in that workplace pretty much bullied me heavily, and it was very much, like, too much for me. So, like, in the end, like, I decided to quit, and, like, that was one instance of being called too much.
Yeah. And how did it make you feel? Did it make you feel like you wanted to just find a new job, new place, or did it was...
I wanted a break from working, to be honest. Like, I was just like, you know what, if, like, if all work's gotta be like this, I'm gonna need to, like, take a short break, like, collect myself, like, find, like, and just, like, recover. And so I did recover. And then, like, I found, like, another job where people actually respect me, like, are helpful, like, aren't, like, constantly, like, cutting me down. And, like, it's been, like, a completely different experience. And it's, like, really great. Like, yeah. Yeah.
That's good. And I'm going to repeat a question again, but was there a moment when you realised it was more about them than it was about you?
It's all about, like, how people, like, police their perceptions of who you should be rather than, like, who you are. And, like, there's not much you could do to, like, really change who you are. And some people, like, no matter what, no matter how you try, no matter how much you try to change, they're always gonna, like, try and find a fault with you because they're just that kind of people. Like, not everyone's going to like you. And, like, that's one thing that's, like, really helped me. Like, just being like, you know what? Like, I'm not here to be like, I don't care if, like, people, like, don't like me. Well, obviously, like, I cared to, like, some degree because, like, everyone likes to be liked. But, like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, like, stop caring about, like, trying to, like, make people like me so, like, outwardly. And that was when, like, I felt like I got much more power because, like, I reclaimed, like, what people were, like, pushing onto me and was just like, you know what, I don't need to listen to you. I'm gonna do my own thing and, like, I'm gonna do it better than you could ever. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So leads nicely to if you take all the things that you've been called too much of, you'd say how each of them are your power, why you love them, how it's helped you, and how it's helped other people.
I was called too feminine one time, and, like, that was very much like, okay. Well, it wasn't actually one time. Like, these things, like, they're an accumulation. Like, they didn't happen one time. Like, they're passing comments by, like, one person, two people, three people, four people, like, pretty much everyone that you meet, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so different, oh my gosh, you're so feminine, oh my gosh, you're so that, oh my gosh, you're so that. And, like, I've, like, turned it into, like, kind of, like, my power by, like, cultivating that and, like, letting me be myself. And, like, I feel like there's something very powerful in that, and, like, I feel like a lot of people see something powerful in that and feel powerful because of that, from my experience. So that's one thing that's like really helped. Another thing is that like once I was called too black, too outspoken, like I feel like I'm not outspoken enough. Like I need to be like even more outspoken than I'm currently am, because like, yes, like I feel like I need to use my voice even more because people are pushing back. So obviously I must be like doing something right, because like, yeah, sometimes like, you know, you've like hit a nerve. Like, I'm not even like saying it in a bad way, but like when you confront someone and they've done something bad and they like start pushing back like that, like, and so aggressively, you're often like, okay, so what's the cause of this? There must be a deeper root. So like, it's very much like I need to be more outspoken and like call people out. Not even like call people out, because like I'm not really here for like holding people to like high standards, but it's very much like I'm not really that type of person. Like I'm just content like living my own life, minding my own business. But sometimes it's like, what was I even talking about? Like being called too outspoken. Yeah. It's like really difficult to like talk about, because like at one time like you are outspoken, but like that's only because like you're speaking up for yourself. And sometimes when other people speak up for themselves, they're seen as assertive, like doing that, being a business person, being a go-getter. And like it's very much like trying to like, I've turned that kind of like into my power by being outspoken, because it's very much like, you know what, I am not going to let you use my words against me. Like I have said this, I have said that, I have said that. What are you going to do about it? Like I try to leave like, like it's taken something and like made it feel more powerful. Like it's very much like taking like these hyper like male coded like hyper masculine things, like businessy things, and being like, you know what, I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna put my spin on them, and then I'm gonna force feed them back to you. Yeah, basically. Once I was called too illiterate. Well, they didn't call me too illiterate, but they were basically like, you're not using the language we want you to use. You're not speaking in this way. You're not speaking in this way. You're not speaking in this way, in an essay that I wrote. And then, like, I read it again, and I realized that, like, no, actually, I'm using exactly the language that I want to use, but, like, the problem is with you. And, like, ever since then, like, I'm very much less apologetic about the way that I speak, the words that I use when I write. Like, yeah, like, I don't try to defend myself that much more often, and, like, I feel I'm stronger for it, because, like, I'm no longer, like, on the back foot, rather. Like, I'm content in just letting me, myself, and my work exist without needing to, like, constantly be defended by, like, criticisms and attacks. So, like, yeah, being called illiterate, not being able to, like, speak in the way that people wanted me to speak, actually made me stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So if someone came to you and they were like early teens and they said, I've been called too femme, I've been called too outspoken, I've been called too black, what advice would you have for them?
I actually said this to a few times to people before, and like I almost always give like the same advice. One, find your people who will be there for you, like no matter what. Like the thing is, like with your people, like it's okay to like share and like with them to like be there for them, but like don't try to like overshare too much. Sometimes like these issues can like destroy like relationships, and you don't want to wear out your friends, but like finding your people is like very important. And like oftentimes like anyway, I was talking about that. And the second thing I would be like is like people are gonna hate you. Like, some people are gonna hate you no matter what. So like, it's very much like, recognize that you have that power, like, and also like, sometimes like you're gonna be put in situations that you can't avoid, like being targeted and stuff, and like at that moment, like it's best like just to, if you feel confident and safe, like speak up and like do that, but like don't feel like pressured into like feeling that you need to speak up and defend yourself every time you do, because sometimes like walking away and like is like honestly the best and like safest answer, but like sometimes you need to let someone know. But and like I'm totally there for that, but like be wary of like the amount of work that you're doing, and like be wary of like the people around you, and like when like they're complicit, and like whether they're actually doing the same amount of work as you're doing, because sometimes you could be doing too much work and like you just need to focus and like recuperate. Ignore everything that I said. Just realize that like you are powerful and like you are strong and like you can do anything. Yes. Well, not anything, but like most things to like a certain degree, because like there's some institutional forces that like are trying to keep you down, but like that's the fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brilliant. And if you could change the world tomorrow, what would you change? And and what would it look like?
Well, one thing that I think is like really important is to like make sure that everyone like gets paid like a fair wage, everyone like has somewhere to live, everyone like has like, so that's the one thing that I would like change, like making sure that everyone's okay and like tackling like some of like the inequalities present in the world. Like that's a lot, but like if I had the power to change anything, like if everyone